Hey everybody, it's Lala Black Sheep, and I'm here with my review for R&B Divas LA, episode 6. I don't know the title. I will put it on the video when I upload it. I don't know. I'm trying to get this done. I don't know. It's my last day until I have to go back to work. I usually get a little 3-day break. And this is my third day. So I got a lot to do. I had to take my boys out and drop them off. So no kids. No, go upstairs. I can't say anything because they're around. Baby's at daycare. My teenager is at work. But I also have to get like 47 other things done now that no one's home. So I'm gonna talk about the episode, the last night's episode. Kelly affected everything, like every single scene, even though she wasn't even there for half the show. But her bullshit just kind of carries over everywhere. So as much as I would love to refuse to acknowledge her existence, we have to, because if it wasn't for her and her ridiculous drama, I guess we wouldn't have much to talk about. Although I'm telling you right now, if the show was just Shantae, Mo, Claudette, and Michelle, I would be so happy to watch it. Like, I really want Kelly Price and Dawn to know that the ratings would be high, just as high, if you guys weren't there. Okay? Yeah, you bring the bullshit. Yes, you bring the drama. But I am genuinely interested in the other women and their stories and their music. More so that I am interested in you guys and what you have to say. I really don't care about you, especially after the way you guys have been behaving. But I digress. I'm going to get back to what we have to talk about. So we start off the day after the rehearsal where Kelly, brought Tori and kind of trained him and coached him to walk in and do everything, take over, the show. I'm like sitting on my leg and I keep moving it because it's leaning on the little braided part of the cushion. You probably didn't need to know all that. I just wanted to tell you I was doing all this shuffling and shifting. So Shantae, Mo, Michelle, and Dawn are at the ROFL Cafe, and they're discussing the last rehearsal, because at the rehearsal, Michelle and Dawn weren't there, and Claudette wasn't there either. It was just Fred at first. No, it was just Kelly, Shantae, Mo, and then Fred arrived, and then Kelly got into her little crap or whatever. No, wait. My bad. No. I'll get confused. It was Fred, Shantae, Mo, and then Kelly showed up with Tori. Yeah, and that was when Tori was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. Yeah. And everybody was like, pump your brakes. You all off and wrong. This ain't a high school play, so calm your nerves. And they're telling, Mo was like, yeah, like Kelly came in with Tori and he tried to take things over, and Fred wasn't having it. He wasn't trying to play second fiddle to nobody, and Kelly, she didn't seem to be happy with the way things were going or whatever. But then, and Michelle is like, well, Fred didn't fire himself, and he wasn't fired, so he's still the director. Like, bottom line, it is what it is. And then, Michelle is like, has anybody had a meeting with Kelly to discuss how she feels about all of this? And Mo was like, well, actually, Kelly was very clear on how she felt about all of it. And Shantae is like telling them how, first how she shows up or whatever. She's like being rude to Fred and everything. And then she shows up and she kind of takes out her boots and her Vaseline or whatever, like she's ready. And and no, wait, what happened? I hate when I do that. Okay, yeah, she did. She arrived with her boots and her Vaseline, took them out her bag or whatever and sat them down to basically silently show that she was ready to throw down. And, and Mo was like, oh yeah, well, she had a straight razor too, and where I'm from, you know, you got a straight razor, you dip it in garlic, and that means you gonna cut somebody and make sure that it don't heal. She's like, that's just hood talk. Like, that's where I'm from. In the hood, that's what all that means. You pull out some boots and some Vaseline and a straight razor, you ready to go. Like, you ready to throw down with somebody. Cut a bitch. Okay? And that's exactly what I would have got. You walking up here talking about I got my Timberlands and my Vaseline and a straight razor. Number one, we not, no, I'm gonna wait until we get to that point, Kelly. So and see, the funny thing is, so then Shantae's like, yeah, like she came at me, like after she dismissed Fred or whatever, like she got in my face and was coming at me, calling me two-faced and all the other stuff, and was like, you know, if you think you could do this on your own, like I'll buy a ticket or whatever. Well, what she really said was, tell me where I could buy a ticket. You know, and I already said before, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, like, Kelly, please don't play, all right? Because I'm pretty sure, like, Shantae already put out an album. She just released a CD already. You doing all this work, you got all this stuff going, you touring, you in the studio, you showing up at people's barbecues and shit like that, but you don't got nothing to show for it because we still don't know what you're doing. But at least we got something. Shantae's got something to show for it. Amazingly, she was available to go to all the rehearsals. She was available to find a director for your monologues, your little monologue idea. She was available to sit around and deal with your BS while you showed up and deliberately interrupted all the rehearsals and made sure nothing happened. And she still had time to put out an album. Okay, so I don't know what you're busy doing, but doesn't seem very productive, Kelly. You know, but Michelle was having a good time. She's like, well, what happened? Like, well, what did you say after she said she was going to buy a ticket? Like, tell us. You know, we wasn't there. You got to let us know. And, you know, Shantae was like, well, I responded, but, like, I don't know why I got time for that. She was like, you know, I don't need a bunch of stuff to fight. I don't need no Timberland boots and no Vaseline and no straight razor, whatever. I'll fight you in my heels. I'm not worried about all of that. Like, it doesn't have to be all of that, period. Like, I mean, you know, handle things like an adult. You don't have to threaten anybody. I've always had a problem with Kelly. She's so passive aggressive. She is. Her last name should not be Price. It should be Kelly Passive Aggressive, because she just, all of that, not directed at any particular thing, aggression and anger and hostility, when everybody in the room knows who you're talking to and everybody in the room knows what you're trying to say. But you make sure you look at the floor, so when somebody steps to you and is like, well, what you trying to say? You could be like, I was just, you know, thinking about a movie I just saw. Bitch, please. So, yeah, Dawn is like, nobody's fighting. You know, it's okay. Nobody's fighting anybody. And it's okay. Just calm down. No one's fighting. Okay. I gotta take another dose because I'm getting scared. The ladies just finally are like, you know what, it's gonna be with Fred. We like to be with Fred. I feel comfortable with Fred. It is what it is. Okay, so we've made that decision. Let's move on. And you know, Mo is basically saying like, yeah, because you know, the monologues are basically like our vaginas, and I'm not trying to just give my vagina over to just anybody. It's just like, Mo, let the vagina thing go. Like, she is so happy to use the vaginas. She's just vagina happy. I love Mo. She's so funny and just so raw and crazy, and I absolutely adore her, especially after this episode, because I'm so happy that she finally spoke up. But we'll get to it when we get to it. I'm trying not to make this too long. I'm really distracted. I'm sorry, guys. I love you so much, and I do have serious feelings about the show and everything, and I'm trying. I'm tired, and I'm doing a lot of stuff. I got a lot of things going on, and right now I'm just a little off, so please bear with me. I love you. Okay, so Mo is like, have you guys ever recorded your own, like, do you guys record your own vocals? I think she was segueing into, you know, letting everybody know that Philip was going to be the musical director. I'm not sure, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. It didn't really seem to flow well with it's going to be Fred, and then do you guys record your own vocals or whatever. And Michelle was like, no, I just sleep with the producer. Like, And everybody was like, "Whoa!" And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, I don't do that, but I'll sleep with the producer or whatever. You know how I do. You know what I mean? And then when he roll over, I'd be like, "Do we have to go to the studio today?" And I think it's cute because yes, like she was with Suge Knight and Dr. Dre and all the other stuff, and she's like, you know where I'm from, you know how I do. I like that, her reputation and what people know about her. She's not all, uptight about it and everything. That's what you do. Laugh at yourself. So when other people laugh at you, it doesn't mean as much. Like, yes, I'm crazy, I'm funny, I do stupid stuff, I'm not perfect. So what do you have to say about me that I haven't already said about myself? Move on to someone else. Okay. So I like that. I like Michelle. I'm surprised at how, I don't know. I did in the beginning, I was like, oh, her voice is crazy, just like everybody else. I mean, like in the beginning when she first came out and she was like an amazing singer and we heard her voice, it was like, what the hell? I wasn't really jumping on her when she came out on R&B Divas because I already knew about her. The only thing I was really saying was like, hey, like I haven't seen her in a while. Like, whoa, Michelle, I remember her. So I wasn't really like going crazy about her voice and everything. But I will say that I was like, at first I was like, am I gonna be able to like listen to her like scene after scene after scene, even though listening to me, like I sound like a bunch of dying cats right now, so bear with me. But I was just like, will I be able to listen to her like constantly through the show? And believe it or not, it doesn't really, I'm used to her voice. Like it doesn't really sound as crazy as it did before. I'm just surprised at how quickly it was like, yeah, oh, Michelle is talking, whatever. So I love Michelle. Bring her on. Like I said, y'all could just pluck Kelly and Doing simple little asses out of here. I'll be perfectly fine not watching it. I don't give a fuck about you too fat for fame or too fat to be famous or whatever, because honey, that is not your problem. Your weight is not holding you back from anything. Please believe you are a very talented woman. So I don't think anybody cares about how big you are. Okay, maybe you can't fit all the clothes at the photo shoot, but you should have enough money at this point to bring your own. I think the one thing that's stopping you from being any more famous than you already are is your nasty ass little attitude, because you're ignorant, you're rude, you're disgusting, you act like a spoiled little brat. And I don't think anybody in their right mind will want to work with you, because there are plenty of talented women, far more talented than you are, Kelly Price. Okay, so too fat for fame? No, it should be too much of a bitch for fame. All right, it should be too ignorant for fame, too trifling for fame. It should be, I need to sit my ass down, and that's why I'm not more famous than I am. But that's just my opinion. Okay, because you got what you got, so good for you or whatever, bitch. Anyway, so then Shantae is like, look, I feel like Kelly owes me an apology, which she does, because I still don't understand how Kelly jumped at Shantae. I really feel like Kelly has behaved ridiculously, and the way she reacted to the girls, and it wasn't even the girls who found Fred, it was actually the R&B Divas team, the people who produce the show, the people who are behind the show, the writers of the show, or whoever does the hiring on the show. They're the ones that found Fred, and he went through the proper, interviewing and hiring process. It wasn't the ladies that brought Fred on. It was R&B Divas LA that brought Fred on. And even Fred, in a recent interview with AfterBuzz TV, was like, he didn't even know what Kelly's problem was. He came in like, okay, I'm going to meet the ladies, and this is what we're going to do, and we're supposed to get this show done. And then when Kelly showed up acting like a natural fool, he didn't even know if like it was a part of the show or what. He didn't know what to do, which was why he reacted the way he did. Because he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Fred. And she's just like, throwing her shit at the wall and stuff like a fucking monkey. And that's not a racial term, so don't even think about it, okay? And he was just looking like, what the fuck? Okay, like they didn't tell me that this was supposed to happen. So I really feel like that drama was just something that Kelly decided to make up, because she got to confer with her bestie, Nikki Gilbert. And like I said, she was studying Nikki Gilbert 101, and she figured that this was the best thing to do to get everybody talking about her and, to start trending on Twitter. I don't know. but none of it made sense from what I understand, after hearing Fred's interview. I mean, seeing Fred's interview on AfterBuzz TV. But we'll get back to that later. Okay, so yeah, Kelly owes Shantae an apology. And, Shantae is like, you got to understand, you don't come at me like that. If you have an issue, we talk about it like adults. They are supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be longtime friends, remember? And, I mean, I feel like any friend of mine, any longtime friend that I would have, you got a problem with me, then we talk about it. You don't attack me or whatever or get brand new just because there are cameras around or there's some new people around or something like that, and you want to act like, you know what I mean, like I'm just some chick off the street. That's not okay. And the whole thing was just wrong. The whole thing was just wrong. And then Shantae is like, I may be small or whatever, but I mean, like, I ain't no bitch, period. And she's like, and I'm not going to get socked in the face either. And that's what I was thinking about. I was like, Kelly may not have a whole lot to lose if she get hit in her big ass face. Actually, no, her face is not that big. It's long. It's like a kind of thing. But she probably don't have that much to lose if she get hit. But Shantae's a pretty girl. She's a really pretty girl. And, she could suffer from having somebody come at her with a straight razor, first of all. Anybody would suffer from that. And she could suffer from getting hit in the face. Like, her beauty has a lot to do, with her brand, along with her talent. So I understand that. And that's why I'm pretty sure Shantae was like, the fuck are you talking about? Because we're both artists. We're both singers. We're both in the industry. And you had a problem with me, so you show up with Timberlands and Vaseline. Like, who the hell does that anymore? Like, we ain't in the hood. We ain't in the projects. Like, we made it, boo-boo. You got to come up here and talk to me up here where we're supposed to be. Moving on. So, we get to, and I'm looking down with my trusty trusty with my notes. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, so Shantae and Cheryl, friend / manager, are poolside. And, Cheryl was asking Shantae, like, how are things with Fred? Like, how do you like him? And Shantae's like, he's great. He makes us comfortable. He explains things. He doesn't just come in and start barking orders at us and everything. He makes sure that we understand and that we're in our comfort zone so we can tell our story the right way. He's a very good director, and she's like, but that's not the issue. The issue is Kelly, because we haven't been able to rehearse or really get anywhere in the past few rehearsals because of the way Kelly's been behaving. And Cheryl is like, oh, she like on 10 with her whole, no, Kelly? Oh, girl, stop. What did she do? Like, okay, Cheryl, calm down, boo-boo. Like, you done been on the show a few times. It's okay. We like you. We understand. Just simmer down now. So, yeah, and Shantae's like, yeah, like, I don't even really understand why Kelly came at me the way she did. She's like, first of all, she came in, she dismissed Fred, then she sat in his seat, which, of course, I'm not sure if you guys understand, but when she tells Fred that he needs to leave, and then she sits in his seat and moves it, into the center, like out, so that she can be in everybody's view. That's like, he's not in charge, I'm in charge. I need to establish that level of power and authority that I have. That's why she did what she did. That's why she couldn't address the ladies sitting next to them or sitting in the audience. She had to make sure that she was up in front of everybody so she could show her place, and show that she was the head bitch in charge. Okay, so I got that. Like I said, passive aggressive, that's all that is. Kelly is all about, just the little statements and the nuances, instead of just coming out like, look, this is how I feel and this is whatever. And like I said, Shantae just doesn't understand like why it had to turn into all of that. And and Cheryl's like, well, what about, and Shantae's like, but I got my own issues anyway. She's like, Kenny is finally filing for custody. He finally officially filed the papers for custody of their son KJ, and it broke my heart to see like the pain in her face. Like every time she talks about it, like you can see she's like tearing up, and the way she just kind of looks down, and like her whole demeanor changes. And I understand. Okay, I'm one of those crazy serial moms. All right, I love my children to life. I love my children. They are my entire world, my existence. They're my everything. I could not fathom someone threatening to take my kids away from me, threatening to take custody, threatening to do anything. I mean, every decision that I make, every action that I, make is like, well, how is this going to affect my babies? What are they going to think? How are they going to feel? How is this going to impact them? Like, that's how I live my life. So I can understand the heartbreak, that Shantae has, knowing that this man, like, it's one thing for us to be going back and forth and having a problem, but you don't bring the kids into it. You don't do that. I mean, I've mentioned in my, prior videos or whatever about my really bad breakup, like my one real relationship. And it was a really bad breakup. And I'm telling you, to this day, the worst part about all of it is the fact that my baby boy will still ask about that person and be like, I really miss that person. Because they were essentially another parent. And it's like, you didn't just do it to me, you did it to my kids. And that's what we have a problem with. Because I'm not even the type of person that wants you to meet my children or build a relationship with my children unless I know that this is the real thing. Okay? Because I don't want that to happen. I don't want my kids to be affected in any way. And that's what Cheryl was saying. She was like, the only person that's really going to be hurt in all of this is KJ. Like, that's what you got to understand. You can't take your personal issues with each other and then let it carry over onto the kids, not purposely. There's some things that happen that you can't really avoid. Like, if you break up, if you get a divorce or whatever, okay, you're not in a house anymore. It is what it is. And you got to deal with it. But when you start doing stuff deliberately to affect the children because you are so angry at that other person that acts that you want to hurt them, you want to hit them where it hurts, so you try to deal with the kids and you don't even care about how it's affecting the kids, like, that's a problem. That's a real problem. My parents, my mother and my father, they're divorced. They've been divorced since I was 2 years old. Okay? They don't always get along. They don't always agree. The spouses may not always get along or see eye to eye or love each other to death. And they understand that. But whenever it came to me, my mom and my dad, they worked it out. They got together. I don't care about how I feel about you. It's about our child right now. And that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Don't you let that negative, raggedy behind stuff affect the kids. Some things did affect me. Some actions or whatever weren't exactly the best actions in the world that a parent should make, but nobody's perfect. But as long as you don't deliberately do that shit and hurt your kids, you know what I mean? And I feel Shantae's pain. I know I'm talking a whole lot about that one part, but it just breaks my heart to see the pain in her face when she talks about how Kenny is trying to take her child away from her. Like, why? You do you and you let me do me. Don't try to take my baby from me. It's not like I'm not letting my child see you and I'm not letting you have your part in his life. So why on earth would you try to take it away from me? But I don't know the whole story. I'm interested in learning a little bit more about their divorce and their relationship and how things went, how bad things went. I don't know. I didn't read the blogs and I didn't go, doing research and everything like that. If Shantae wants to tell it, she'll tell it. That's pretty much where I am. I'm not going to do a whole lot of digging. Sorry. So, Shantae says that basically they need to see a mediator, and depending on how that goes, they have to go to court afterwards. And, Shantae is going to counter it. He filed the paper, so she's going to counter it and just go back at him and just go down fight. And she'll do the best that she can or whatever and defend herself because she knows she's a good mother. And she cares about her son, and she never do anything to hurt him. She lives for him, so she's just going to do the right thing. In these types of situations, there is no playing dirty. You got to be the best person that you can be to show that you're truly genuine. You know what I mean? So Cheryl, she's like devastated. She can't believe that Kenny is taking it this far either. And then she brings up, I'm not sure if she brought up Kelly's birthday party before that or after it. But Shantae was like, I don't know if I should even go. Like, I don't know if I'm invited. I don't know how that whole thing is. So whatever, we'll see. Okay, so they got the new singing parts in now. Because for like the first 5 episodes, they were repeating their little singing, their little excerpts or whatever of their little singing in between the scenes and stuff. And I was just like, why they got to keep playing the same ones? Like, did they only record one? So we're at they have some new ones. And Mo's doing a whole, oh, yeah, oh, nigga, whatever she does. I don't know. That was retarded. I'm sorry, y'all, if I like hurt your ears. I love you. So Mo and Fred meet for chess and chocolate, apparently. And Mo is funny. She talk about how she just saw Penelope Cruz like reading the script and everything, and she is like excited about it. She is so adorable. So she meets with Fred, and she's telling Fred, like, look, like, I got your back. I'm here for you. Like, I choose you. But I got to make sure that you don't quit. You don't just fall back or whatever and give up because Kelly is fighting like this. And Fred, like I said, the interview that I mentioned with AfterBuzz TV, Fred was saying that he thought that all of the ladies had a problem with him after he met Kelly and got all of this stuff. He didn't really know that the ladies had his back like they did until, they kind of told him, like, no, we're here. We're gunning for you. Kelly is on her own thing. So even with that, like, Fred was like, hopefully Kelly will come around. Hopefully she'll just be like, okay, like, I don't mean any harm to her. Like, nobody's trying to take anything from her. We're just trying to do this and work together, and come up with a show, and hopefully she'll come around. And Mo was like, no, like, I know Kelly, from what I've learned from her, is her way or the highway. Like, if things aren't going the way that they're going, she'd be like, fuck you, I'm done, I don't care, I wouldn't spit on you if your ass was on fire. And she's just like, but like, her way and the highway, Mo chooses the hot way. It is what it is. Like, he's a good director, he's the best person for the job at this point. And she's like, and she's prepared. I'm sorry, it's this crazy show on the TV right now, with people committing crimes. It's like wild cop videos or something like that. I don't know. But she's just like, she knows that when she gets up there and says we choose Fred, that she's prepared that Kelly is probably just not going to talk to her anymore. And it's sad to know that a grown-ass woman is going to behave like that, and you have to choose between a friendship and actually getting stuff done. But when you are an adult, it's a fly, guys, I'm sorry. When you are an adult and you have a family and you have bills and responsibilities and children to take care of and everything, sometimes you got to pick work over friends if it's got to be like that. It's a shame. You should be able to work together and come to some sort of common ground so we can all make money and we can all do something with this, you know what I mean, and just get along for whatever it is, because there really was never a beef in the first place, Kelly. Like, you brought all of this stuff out of nowhere, and now you lost a bunch of friends. And from what I understand, you got a busted ass little monologue thing. It's on YouTube, guys. I heard from other people. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's just Dawn and Kelly. I've been hearing from a lot of different sources. They have billboards up or whatever with just Dawn and Kelly. And there was a video that they did do the monologues, just them or whatever. So I guess it's gonna be two different shows. And honey, I wouldn't. You see, I ain't even stopped to see the YouTube video because I don't have any fucks to give. I'm sorry. I can care less about what Kelly and Dawn have to say or have to sing or whatever for the monologues. And if they went with Tori, I don't know. I don't have anything against Tori, but he ain't no Fred. It is what it is. I appreciate the fact that Fred doesn't want to take sides. I appreciate the fact that even the way Kelly has treated him and disrespected him blatantly to his face and been so nasty and confrontational and just ridiculous with him, he's still, like, I'm hoping that things work out and I'm hoping that we can all work together. Like, Fred is just absolutely gorgeous to me right now. His attitude, the way he's handling things, his professionalism, all of that, he's shining. Like, he's shitting on Kelly, I'll tell you that much. Like, if anything, he's going to gain a lot from this, and Kelly's going to lose a lot. I mean, people like nasty people. I mean, I understand that. You know what I mean? Like, if people are in love with the bad guy and the, antagonist, and people live for that person, especially in reality TV and everything. So I do understand that. But I really feel like Kelly's going to lose more fans than she's going to gain them at this point. Lose more supporters than you're going to gain them being nasty. I'm just saying. Just like Nene said, you can't win when you're dirty. Okay, Kelly, I'm probably going to wind up saying that to you in every single review. You can't win when you're dirty. So, Dawn and Chris. Dawn and her boyfriend from Wales with the wool hat that he wears all the time and looks like he doesn't bathe himself or shave. or do anything that has anything to do with personal hygiene, go to an adoption agency. Okay, so they meet with this woman. I don't really know what all was said. I saw it. I made notes verbally. She explains the adoption process to them. You can do it the way where there's a baby already there and you go through all the stuff or whatever, blah blah blah. I think, and then you could do the private adoption or whatever, where the mom is like, hey, I want you to be the mommy, I'm still pregnant. She's got 30 days to change her mind and take the baby back. Chris makes a joke about how it's like exchanging the jeans, a pair of jeans at Macy's or something, just bring it back in 30 days. I guess it's nice to have a sense of humor, but I don't know. He annoys me, and he probably just annoys me because he's with Dawn. I don't know. I have heard some things about him. I don't really know how true they are, about him being some kind of pedophile or something, and you know, he's got some kind of record about doing things to kids and everything, and it's a lot of suspect stuff. I heard that Dawn can't have children because she had a hysterectomy or something, and that her husband never beat her. Her ex-husband never beat her, and he actually signed off or whatever on her losing all her lady parts, so he didn't really understand why she's walking around talking about she's trying to have a baby. I don't know how real it is. Dawn just doesn't really seem like a genuine person, so it's very, very hard to believe her storyline, and I had a hard time believing it before I even heard that stuff. So I don't know, and I don't care. Yeah. So he was making jokes, and it was annoying. It just, what, I want a pink one and a black one and a purple one and an orange one and a yellow one, and you know, any ethnicity, we don't care. You can pick out the color of the lap. Bitch, shut. No, I'm not here for it. No. Okay, so Mo and her husband Philip, they go to a tattoo parlor. Mo's getting a tattoo. She was saying she usually gets tattoos when something, you know, negative is happening in her life. But this is actually a good tattoo because she's getting her, this is actually, sorry guys, my mom was calling me. This is actually a good tattoo because she's getting her, turning the volume down on my phone. She's getting her son, her 9-month-old son's name tattooed on her. And I have both of my babies. I have tattoos for both of my babies. I have my oldest, his name in a cross, and I have an actual picture of my little baby's nickname, the picture of the actual thing that we call him. So I've got tattoos for them, and my teenager is actually designing a tattoo, and that's going to be the next one I get. It's going to be one of his. Tattoo person. I love tattoos, and I love, you know, tattoo. All of my tattoos mean something, so I like that. I like that. It's funny because Mo's like she's having a conversation with her husband while she getting the tat, like she getting her toenails painted. It was funny. She just laying there like, yeah. So, you know, she was asking him if he had decided on whether he wants to move to LA or not, and you know, he was like, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to discuss. They, you know, they need to kind of, it's a transition, you know, process that needs to be done. You can't just get up and just move everything to LA. They have businesses there in Baltimore. They got a company in Baltimore. They have family in Baltimore. Their whole life is in Baltimore, and he feels like you can't just get up and go. You have to, you know, maybe live by coastal for a while, you know, live in both places, feel it out, see how LA is and how things work out for them, and then make an ultimate decision of whether they want to just move everything over there. But you can't just kind of get up and go. It's a lot. It's a very, very big decision, you know, mentally, financially, you know, emotionally, just everything. It's like, it's a big change to move from one side of the country to the other. So, you know, she's like, yo, like, I want to do this. We got to take this chance. Come on. You know, but she was like, okay, like, if I'm able to be successful out here and work and do the right thing, you know, and actually get, you know, my feet planted well as far as my career is concerned, do you think that we could just go? And the thing is, the way all of this crap is going, I'm hoping that she's depending on more than just these monologues, because nothing has been done. Kelly has made it, you know, her goal to completely sabotage the monologues from day one. There were no rehearsals done. Every time she's there, nothing gets done. Anything that was accomplished was done when Kelly was somewhere else. So, sorry, this guy just like fell out the driver's seat of the car. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, so Kelly's stopping everything. So if I was Philip, I would be like, I don't know either. I'd be like, well, I need to see something happen because I know that Mo is like, she wants this to work. I want it to work for them too. But as long as Kelly is involved, it's not going to. Nothing is going to happen. And like I said, when you got family, you got responsibilities and things like that. You got other people that depend on you. You cannot put everything into just an idea because there's nothing being done. Nothing's being accomplished at this point. So I would refrain from just jumping and going to. So they get the tattoo. She's like, okay, I got you. It's a decision. Michelle and Shantae get together to discuss the show. Michelle is basically saying she hasn't gotten much done. She doesn't have anything written down. It's been a lot of confusion. They haven't gotten any direction because they were going back and forth with Kelly and Tori and Fred and everything. And since there hasn't been any definitive structure, she doesn't know what to do. She's confused. She doesn't know where to go, where to start, whatever. So she hasn't gotten anything done. So she asked Shantae about Kelly's birthday party. And Shantae is like, why? Like, I was invited. I don't know. Do you think I should go? Do you think I shouldn't go? Michelle is like, well, I wasn't invited. I didn't receive an invitation. I was kind of hoping that you didn't know anything about the party because then, I wouldn't feel so bad, but you knew what I was talking about. So, obviously I'm the only one that wasn't invited. And Shantae's like, well, I don't know if I should go because of the way things are going. I haven't spoken to Kelly since the whole Boots and Vaseline razor incident. And she's like, I thought everything was okay and it was squashed, but I haven't heard from her, so I'm not sure. And she's like, I guess I'm inviting myself at this point because I haven't heard anything. So, sorry guys, I'm hungry. String cheese, I love it. I'm addicted to it. So, she's like, I'm going. I guess I invited myself. Mo and Shantae go-kart racing. I love how fun they are. I love Shantae and how, with everything happening, BS with Kelly, dealing with her ex-husband, she still keeps going. She keeps soldiering on. She keeps having fun. She keeps having a good time. It's something my family has been on my back about getting out, doing some things, making new friends and stuff, because after I went through what I went through recently, I had to start over again, and I'm in the shell. Being able to come on, just go on camera and post videos on YouTube and put myself out there, it's a big step. You know what I mean? Because before, like, I was to myself. I don't talk to nobody. I don't do anything. It was me and my kids. I talked to my children. I talked to my parents. That was it. Like, I kept myself really, really sheltered and just cut off. Because I'm emotionally vulnerable. I'm still, like, a little broken. I'm still a little devastated from everything that happened to me all at once, and how hard I fell and how close I came to just total disaster. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. And for me, the way I got through it was to just close myself up and only surround myself with things that I trusted. And that's my children and my family. Like, that's it. That was it. My children, like my parents, basically. That was it. So, cut off friends, cut off everybody. I didn't do anything. And I love that. Like, I want to be that person again. I want to be the way Shantae is. But she's like, I still have a good time. I still go out. You know what I mean? Like, I still party it up a little bit, but I still take care of my responsibilities. I still deal with the bad stuff. But, you keep it light, too, and have that balance. And I'm working on that. So, I think it's cute that they were able to go out, do the go-kart thing. They were talking to each other about the custody battle, and Mo understands because she's kind of going through a similar thing with her ex-husband and her daughters, and she did mention that in the past episode with them being out in Baltimore and not being able to be in LA with her, and how she really needs to just get full legal custody of them. So, Shantae was ready. They were ready to beat the crap out of each other in go-karting. They both lost. Shantae crashed. Lil Mo was like last on the list. Like, she came in completely last place. It was so cute, but they had a good time. Okay, so we get to Kelly's party. You know, she's turning 14. I mean, I'm sorry, she's turning 40. And Michelle and Mo were on the red carpet, and Shantae arrived reluctantly. So Michelle made it. I don't know if she invited herself or if she actually received an invitation. But, you know, Kelly was having a good time or whatever, surrounded by all these people who were bigging her up, which you should do on somebody's birthday. I'm not going to knock her for that. But apparently when Shantae arrived, Shantae was like, I was going to stay away or whatever, but it's her birthday, so I'm going to show up. She was showing support. She was kind of shitting on her, too, because, you know, it's Shantae, and she can kind of shit on Kelly even without trying. But, you know, she arrived. She ain't start no BS. Kelly talking about she was having a hard time. She was distracted because she felt like Shantae shouldn't have been there. But who cares? Like, just have a good time. If you don't have nothing to say to her, don't have nothing to say to her. But to act like you got to worry about Shantae when you were the one that's been bringing all this grade school BS to the table from the gate, like, you gonna talk about you're above all of the little kid antics and everything, and you know you want to behave like an adult, but you were the one who started it in the first place, Kelly. Nobody brought that to you. The girls tried to help you and support you with your vision by helping you move things along because you weren't managing your time properly and nothing was getting done. And instead of appreciating the support and the assistance that they offered you, you decided to fight back and accuse everybody of trying to steal from you. You are the child, not Shantae, not any of the other women. Dawn, yeah, she's a toddler too, but you're the one who was acting like a little grade schooler, not Shantae. So you don't need to be worrying about her doing anything. Shantae showed up and she didn't know what was going to pop off, and I think that her reservations were a little more, well placed and made a lot more sense than you having reservations. Ain't nobody worried about you. When nobody coming for you, you're the one starting all the shit, Kelly. That's you. Nobody else. So, whatever. Everybody's like, yeah, Kelly, it's her birthday. We love her, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I'm a woman of God. I want to give it to God. You can take the children, bounce them on their knee. Bounce them on the knee and then you sing a melody. No, I'm joking. She got up and she sang like a little gospel verse or whatever. And yeah, I got my flowers. I'm awesome. And it was over. I'm not going to say anything about, giving it to God and being God-fearing and then being a horrible person, because we're all human. Nobody's perfect. And just because you believe in a higher power doesn't mean you have to be great. Okay? So I'm not even going to go there with that, okay? Because I love God. I believe in God. I'm God-fearing. I pray. I'm trying to walk in the light, but I am not perfect by far. I know y'all know that. If you do, you know that from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So anyway, where are we? Oh, so Shantae and Mo, they meet with Kelly to tell her. Well, first to ask her about the boots and the Vaseline thing. What was that all about? Kelly's like, she arrives, she's got her sunglasses. Hey ladies, how's everything? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to find out what that was all about with the, Mo was like, with the boots, and the Vaseline and the straight razor, like where I'm from, that means you ready to cut, bitch. And Shantae was like, I felt like that was directed towards me. Was that directed towards me? And Kelly's like, did I direct it towards you? I don't think so. I had a bag full of props that we were there to rehearse and talk about our childhood, and my childhood was like that. I grew up in the projects, so we had boots and Vaseline and straight edge razors, and that was really just to show my plight and show everybody what I've been through. I don't understand why you would think that I would ever do anything negative towards you, Shantae. I'm confused. She was probably doing that behind her sunglasses because she wouldn't take them off. Okay? Anytime you talking to me, you can't take your sunglasses off and look at me eye to eye. Okay? You're dirty. You're dirty. Shantae was like, I ain't believe that bullshit. But you know what? That's fine. She ain't trying to come at my neck. We ain't fighting no more, so I'll take it. But we all know that was not true. That was not honest. She came at me. I called her on it. Once again, She's like, it wasn't true. So they're like, well, anyway, we also wanted to talk to you and tell you that we've decided that we want to stick with Fred. Like we respect him, we're comfortable with him, whatever. And Kelly's like, yeah, about that, I was a little I was a little hesitant about meeting with you guys today because basically I wanted to tell you that, I'm so booked and I just have so much to do and I'm so important and I'm so special and I got so many songs that I have to sing backup for Mariah for and everything in the studio, so I don't have time to do the monologues. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Sorry. I mean, you guys, I'll support you in any way possible as long as it means I don't have anything at all to do with it. My name's not attached to it. I'm not in the building that you guys are performing in, and I'm not even within a 5-mile radius of whatever it is that you guys do, but I'm willing to support you in any way. I'll put the word monologue in one of my tweets and give my love, but you guys can do it on your own. I'm out. I'm so busy. I just have so much to do. I don't even know how I'm here meeting with you right now. I'm just so, oh my God, I'm letting down so many people because I'm not helping them and being with them right now. I'm here with you lowly women who don't have any lives and any responsibilities and no career and no jobs and no anything. So I'll give this to you because you obviously need it more than I do because I'm so fucking important. And I'm just going to back out of it, okay? Yeah, because, I got shit to do, okay? And Mo and Shantae is like, the fuck? So you're just not going to do it now? And she's like, yeah, I'm just so busy. And Mo's like, I got stuff too. Like, I'm in the studio too. I got stuff to do. And Shantae was just like, so Mo was like, that's fucked up. Like, I looked up to you and you let me down. I don't understand why you would back out of it. Like, that's some bitch shit right there. It just is, So whatever. Mo meets with Mo and Phil, her husband. They meet with Dawn. They're gonna tell her basically about Kelly dropping out. Dawn looked like she wanted to cry at first. Like, it was like Kelly said she ain't want to do what she's done, and then Dawn's like, I don't understand. So what are you saying? And Philip's like, she's not going to do the monologues. Kelly won't be there. She's out as opposed to in. Okay? So Dawn is saying that she has to go and talk to Kelly and see if Kelly is okay and make sure that she's still Kelly's minion and she hasn't lost her job as one of her henchmen. And and Phil's like, well, I don't want to say that it did. I mean, it does suck that Kelly dropped out, but now we went from 6 women to 5 women, so we need to take advantage of that time. Dawn was still acting like she was a part of it. Dawn was still like, okay, yeah, we need to do that. We need to focus on our music, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. Then we get to rehearsal, okay? Michelle, Mo, and Fred are there. And Mo is pretty much like, hold on one second, like, before we get into anything else, I got to tell you guys I met with Kelly or whatever. We acknowledged the whole Boots and Vaseline thing. She said she wasn't coming at that Shantae or whatever, so that we're good with that. But she also said that she didn't want to do this anymore. Now, Fred knew that this was going to happen because they just talked about it when they were playing chess, when they were doing the chess and chocolates or whatever meeting between him and Mo. So he knew. Like, Mo was like, she's not going to go with this, because she doesn't like not having her way. So Fred was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Like, that's thanks for telling me. So then Dawn arrives. And see, Mo's like, hey, like, I'm happy you can make it or whatever. And I noticed that. I heard what Dawn said where she was like, yeah, well, there's so, I don't know anything about half the rehearsals that we have, or half the meetings that we have. So I was lucky enough to find out about this one. I caught that shit. I caught it. Okay. You walk in there spouting that Kelly bullshit. But okay. So Mo is like, yeah, like I was just telling everybody how Kelly's out of it. She's not doing it or whatever. Dawn's like, yeah, I'm not doing it either. And I could tell, like, Dawn went home and Kelly was like, blah, 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 blah. This is what you do. This is how you feel. And she's just like, I'm not doing it because it started out as Kelly's thing and you guys took it from her and you made the decisions without her and it was the monologues, the song-alogues or whatever it is now, whatever it is that you guys have turned it into. She came in there starting all that stuff. And Mo was like, I'm done. Like, why are you not doing it? You're not doing it because Kelly's not doing it. She was like, does Kelly manage you? You know, and Dawn's like, well, what are you talking about? And she called her out. Thank you so much, Mo. Like, she was like, whenever Kelly is not doing something, you're not doing it. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. And Dawn, she's trying to like, no, like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid. If you got to tell somebody you're not afraid of them, it's because you are afraid of them, Dawn. And you're full of shit. Okay? You just crawling so far up Kelly's behind, honey. I hope you brought a snack because it's a whole lot of behind to travel through. All right? You go ahead and you do that. And you're going to stay where you are. All right? Because Kelly is not going to take your ass anywhere. You're a group girl. That's all you're going to be. I'm sorry. You're not strong enough to stand on your own. And I think you know that. And you just try to stay behind the biggest person so nobody can see your ass back there. So you go ahead and you stay behind Kelly and we'll see how far that gets you, okay? Because out of everything, Kelly may have her stands that like her because she's the bad guy. And Shantae and the other girls may have their stands that like them because they're the good girls. But ain't nobody going to like your ass. Ain't nobody going to support you. You don't even support you. You don't have a voice. You're making yourself a nobody. I would prefer you to be the bitch that everybody was saying that you were back when you were with En Vogue and with Lucy Pearl, and just being that person than being this little drawn in, I'm going to follow behind Kelly with everything that she says and I can't make one conscious decision on my own. I'm not even going to talk about you going to the holistic doctor or whatever and friggin' asking them for their whatever, just going from person to person to person until somebody tells you what you want to hear. Child, you are so far from reality right now. You stay in La La Land, honey, because obviously happy things are happening there, and if you came back down to reality, you would not be a happy person. So just stay over there in Fairyville, whatever the hell is going on in your head, or wherever the pills are taking you. Just stay there, because I'm done. I'm so happy that Mo got in your ass about the fact that you can't think for yourself and you're only quitting because of Kelly. Because you were still on board until you went and you talked to Kelly. And then you walked in there and basically said verbatim everything that Kelly has been saying about the monologues and what she feels that the girls have been doing. And you believe it. Like, it's crazy. Nothing has been done behind your back or Kelly's back. Nothing has been taken from anybody. But Kelly can keep on putting all types of thoughts in your head because you're gullible. You're clueless. Like, oh my God, you're the ditziest person I ever met, like saw in my life. I'm done. I'm so done with you. I'm not going to be able to do you. Go ahead and do your thing. Like I said, have a good time crawling all the way up Kelly's whole entire ass, honey. You and Kelly, like seriously, y'all need to go do something. Kelly need to find 2 seats, push them bitches together and have it. Sit your ass down on both of them so it can support you. Because that stool you were sitting on looked like it was struggling, honey. That stool was like, somebody help me, please. I can't. I'm about to break. I saw it. I felt for the stool. Don't do that no more, Kelly. That stool ain't do nothing to you. And Dawn, honey, go crawl in a crack in the wall somewhere. Just go. I can't. Mo, I'm happy. I look forward to you continuing to go in on her in the next episode. When you said don't nobody want Dawn, I'd rather have Terry and then the other chick or whatever, the real En Vogue. Yes, honey. Like, I can't. Even in Dawn's little singing parts, like, bitch, go somewhere. Stop. Just stop. All right, just stop. They may as well just have an empty scene. That's it. Just have the cars in the background and the lights. And that be your part, Dawn, because nobody want to hear what the fuck you got to say. Just go. I'm so happy she quit, and I'm so happy Mo was finally like, I'm done. And then you talk about what are you talking about with that street stuff? Who the fuck are you? You better than her now? And when she say something to you and she get a little buck because she's irritated with your bullshit, you gonna call it street? I so wanted Mo to step down a couple levels and bust you in your fucking mouth so you can see. You talk about, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of Kelly. I'm not, why you walking towards the door. That's why that's why Dawn, shit. That's why Mo was like, if you quit, then go. Why you still talking? If you quit, then leave. Talk about, where is your guide? Where is your guide? What are you doing that's godly? Don't bring God into the situation unless you're living right. I don't like when people do that. I'm not going to ask you about how you living because I may not be living all the way right either. But don't be asking me where is my guide unless you can sit here and you can show me that you're doing everything the right way. And honey, just looking at you for 5 seconds shows that you're not doing everything the right way. So don't be bringing God in this, okay? All right. Only time you need to bring God is when you call on him for help, when somebody whooping your ass, because that's what you deserve. Okay. Kelly not gonna take the ass whooping. You gonna stand up there like her little minion and be like, well, Kelly thinks. Well, Kelly thinks. Well, then you take Kelly's ass whooping for her. All right. I'm calming it down because the video was long. I love you guys. I will be here for the next review. If I missed anything or forgot anything, please comment below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Lala Black Sheep, I'm out. Deuces! I love you guys. Bye.